Hey everybody, it's Caden from Achievement Hunter bringing you a boon of new games for June in this month's episode of Coming Soon. Let's hit the multi-platform releases first. June 4th gives us Remember Me, originally titled Adrift for the 360, PS3, and PC. Remember Me is set in Neo-Paris in the year of 2084, a time when memories have become shareable through the internet. Players explore the story of Nilin, a memory hunter now on the run from her ex-employers after having her memories wiped. Remember Me allows the players to engage enemies using a variety of stealth combat techniques, from simply taking down the enemies, to removing or altering their memories, or even replaying the memories to learn about hidden secrets or traps. With this unique combat and Remember Me's twisty-turny plot, it is shaping up to be one of the games to play in June. Also on June 4th, The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim's Legendary Edition for 360, PS3, and PC is released. This Legendary Edition of the game includes all DLC and current patches to the game bundled in one nice package. Tycho and Gabe continue their quest and penny arcade adventures on the Rain-Slick Precipice of Darkness Episode 4 for the 360 and PC on June 7th. Episode 4 picks up from where Episode 3 left off, with the universe getting torn apart. With tons of new places to explore, an even larger overworld, and Zeboyd Games stating that this is their greatest creation to date, Episode 4 looks like it will continue to wear the penny arcade mantle with pride. Rugby Challenge 2 is released on June 13th for the 360, PS3, and PC. Single match, competition, career, and a robust online multiplayer round out this release's variety of game modes. With over 110 teams, 50 stadiums, and customizable players, teams, and even competitions, Rugby Challenge 2 has a smorgasbord of content. Tying into the new toy line and Cartoon Network series of the same name, on June 25th, LEGO Legends of Chima Laval's Journey is released on the 3DS, DS, and Vita. TT Games, developer of many previous LEGO series, once again are the developers for this new LEGO title. Much like the other LEGO games, Legends of Chima is a sandbox adventure game with over 60 characters to unlock, each with their own unique abilities. Described as being not for the faint of heart, Ride to Hell Retribution will be released for the 360, PS3, and PC on June 25th. Telling the story of a man returning from Vietnam and coming home to a changed world, the player deals with continued hauntings and stress even though the war is over. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll, along with a heavy biker theme, carry Ride to Hell Retribution through a brawler-heavy action-adventure tale. With the release of XCOM Enemy Unknown, it was only a matter of time before another retro turn-based tactical combat game returned, and on June 26th, Shadowrun will return with Shadowrun Returns for the PC, Mac, Linux, iOS, and Android. Having nothing to do with 2007's first-person shooter, this Shadowrun is a remake of the original 1993 game of the same name. This remake takes pages from each revision of various versions of Shadowrun throughout gaming history. However, the artistic and isometric camera drew heavy references from the original Super Nintendo version of the game, creating a unique style we haven't seen in quite some time. Continuing the theme of bringing back old arcade games a la The Simpsons Arcade and X-Men Arcade, the final multi-platform game of June releases on the 28th, Dungeons & Dragons Chronicles of Mystara for the 360, PS3, PC, and Wii U. Chronicles of Mystara is actually two classic arcade games redone, Dungeons & Dragons Tower of Doom and Dungeons & Dragons Shadows over Mystara. Tower of Doom allows you to play as a cleric, dwarf, elf, or fighter in an adventure to defeat the evil Deimos Archlich. Shadow over Mystara is a direct sequel following the heroes and some new adventurers, a magician and thief, to find the true source of evil after the lands had not been restored after Deimos' defeat. With some very D&D flair, classic beat-em-up gameplay, and some much-needed retooling and artistic fixes, Chronicles of Mystara offers fun for both fans of the series and newcomers. With multi-platform games out of the way, it's time to hit the exclusives for June. Nintendo consoles only have a few exclusives this month, but there's something for everyone here. On June 9th, Animal Crossing New Leaf is finally released for the 3DS, offering more customization than previous titles and allowing players to be the mayor of his or her own town. New Leaf is breathing some much-needed life into this series. Wario continues his minigame-fueled career on June 23rd with Game & Wario for the Wii U. Out of the box, Game & Wario comes with 16 minigames, 12 single-player, and 4 multiplayer, with the ability to earn tokens and unlock more minigames as the player progresses. And finally, on June 25th, Project X Zone is released for the 3DS, a pseudo-sequel to a game never released outside of Japan, Namco x Capcom. Project X Zone combines Capcom, Namco, and Sega series into one crazy tactics RPG. From Mega Man X to Virtual Fighter to Dot Hack and everything in between, Project X Zone will see a lot of familiar faces return. The Xbox 360 only has 2 major exclusives this month. State of Decay, an open-world zombie survival horror game, will be released on June 5th to the Xbox Live Arcade. Focusing more on stealth and resource management and less about smashing zombies' heads in, State of Decay will definitely be a test of true survival. And on June 6th, we'll finally see the release of the retail disc version of Minecraft for the Xbox 360. Sony consoles have a handful of exclusives this month, including a long-awaited brand new IP. June 4th gives us the release of the creepy black and white platformer Limbo for the Vita. Also on June 4th, Class of Heroes 2, a more traditional turn-based RPG where players utilize a school of would-be heroes to create their party, is available for digital download for the PSP with Vita compatibility. Following last year's PS3 HD bundle, the Jak and Daxter collection makes its way to the Vita on June 14th. June 14th also gives us the brand new IP, The Last of Us, from the creators of Uncharted, Naughty Dog. An action-adventure survival horror game, The Last of Us has been teased since the release of Uncharted 3. The Last of Us is set in a post-apocalyptic United States and follows the story of Joel and Ellie as they try to survive the cataclysmic zombie outbreak. A port of last year's Disney epic Mickey 2, The Power of Two, will be released for the Vita on June 18th. Completely reworked from its 2009 Wii release, with updated graphics, game fixes, new storylines, and more playable characters, Muramasa Rebirth gets its Vita debut on June 25th. And finally, also on June 25th, the Best of PlayStation Network Volume 1 containing Fat Princess, Sound Shapes, Tokyo Jungle, and When Vikings Attack is released for the PS3. PC players have a lot to look forward to as far as exclusives for this month. Adding 2D stealth action with crazy super jump boots and a quirky storyline, June 3rd gives us Gunpoint for the PC. Despite early access delays, Marvel Heroes still appears to be on track for its June 4th release for both PC and Mac. Heavily influenced by the gameplay of Diablo and Diablo 2, Marvel Heroes will be a free-to-play game with a microtransaction implemented in-game store. Adding in simple tower defense gameplay with a collectible card game mechanic, June 5th gives us Prime World Defenders for the PC and Mac. EA's recently released SimCity is finally making its way to Mac on June 11th. June 23rd begins the episodic adventures of The Raven, Legacy of a Master Thief for PC and Mac. Company of Heroes 2, sequel to the very successful strategy game from 2006, sees its release on June 25th for the PC. And finally, on June 28th, Dark, a stealth action game set in a city full of mobster-style vampires, is released on PC. Xbox 360 players will have to wait until July for their chance to play. On the currently announced DLC front for this month, it's a little on the small side, sadly. Adding in new tools and upgraded scanning, navigation, and exploration systems, June 4th gives EVE Online players its 19th free expansion, Odyssey, for PC players exclusively. The Wii U gets its first major set of Nintendo-created DLC on June 20th with new Super Luigi U. Mario has been completely removed from the game, while Luigi's abilities from Super Mario Bros. 2, a higher jump and a difficult ability to stop his momentum, return. With a difficulty increase and a new playable character, new Super Luigi U isn't just more of the same. A retail disc version is scheduled to be released later this year. The final DLC included in the Borderlands 2 Season Pass will see its release on June 25th. Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon's Keep for 360, PS3, PC, and Mac gives us a wild campaign based heavily on Dungeons & Dragons, with the always crazy Tiny Tina acting as the Dungeon Master. Finally, The Sims 3 Island Paradise for PC and Mac is released on June 28th. Island Paradise includes boats, diving, hotels, and even more environmental controls. With your releases out of the way, it's time to remind everyone that E3 is on its way. The event will be held from June 11th to June 13th. Expect to see Nintendo's press conference a few days prior and more information about the PS4 and Xbox One during the actual event. That wraps up June's video game releases, but don't get too comfortable. You have worlds to save. I'll see you next month for more.